You're listening to Storage Nerds Podcast, where we unravel the best-kept secret of the real estate investing world, the storage industry. Join the grassroots guru in self-storage, Stacy Rossetti, in insightful discussions about finding, funding, and running these spaces, allowing you to yield the highest returns possible. Get your foot in the door on self-storage and discover how to properly purchase facilities, negotiate with sellers, and close the deal without worries. Start unpacking that investment wisdom with Stacy right now.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming. I'm from Austin, Renee. So if you're from Austin, then we're family, right? Because I'm actually from Austin, Texas too. So, which is the best city in the country, in my personal opinion. But it's too expensive to live there, you know. So I lived in Atlanta for a long time, and so I'm super spoiled in the prices of things, right? Because Georgia is like really cheap, and then Austin is just like really expensive. But we will be in Austin in February, and we're going to go hang out with my family. But also, we're interested in investing in self-storage, so we're going to, you know, do what I call, which is market research. We drive for storage and we go talk to owners and see if anybody wants to sell. So I am interested in like all of Texas, you know, but we own all of our storage facilities. We own them in Florida and in Georgia is where they're at. So, and most likely we'll stay in that area. But you know, I have family. I'm in Austin all the time. So, and anywhere from like, you know, anywhere in the central Texas area for me would probably be a good area to invest in, because we're just there a lot. And the good thing about storage is that, I mean, if you run and manage your facilities properly, you could be anywhere in the world and you can manage them. That's why I teach my students as well too, is like, because we live in an RV. Everybody knows this. Most of y'all know this. I live in an RV and we travel full time. In fact, I'm in my room right now, my bedroom. My bed's right here. And I could just reach out and put my shoulder on the bed here. That's how my life is now. Everything's like really small. I live in an RV. But I did that because one of the reasons we wanted to travel is because I wanted to prove to all my students that you should be able to, you know, you can live anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world if you want it to be. Because I actually do have a student that lives in Jamaica, and he has a facility in Tennessee, and he's buying one in Florida right now too. So if you manage your facilities properly, you can be anywhere in the world and manage them, right? That's true passive income. That is true passive income, right? So, but yeah, so we just closed on our 11th facility. All right. And I'm really excited about 2022 because we have 3 facilities under contract right now, and most likely we'll get a 4th one under contract. And so I'm really excited about that as well too. We don't really have issues finding properties. Luckily, I have an amazing acquisitions team, which is one person, and his name is Chris. But we're thinking about expanding it too, you know, because we don't really have any issues with finding facilities. So, and the reason why we don't have issues with finding facilities is because guess what we do? We talk to owners. That's what we do. So, and if you talk to owners, you know, the more owners that you talk to, the more chances you have of finding a facility that you want to buy. And so that's what we do, is we talk to a lot of owners. And just really kind of, you know, what I love about Chris, and I think I'm also very good at this, is it's all about like connecting with the owner. The owner just really wants to know, like, and trust you. I've talked about this many times on these sessions, and you can always go back and watch them. And actually, they're all podcasts too as well too, so you can go back and listen to the podcast. But if the owner knows, likes, and trusts you, then they will, you know, they will sell you their property. But if you're not, if you're not the type of person to connect with somebody, you know, you should really hire somebody to do that for you, right? An acquisitions person, or have a partner or something like that do that. But So I hired Chris because I was just getting tired of talking to the owner. So I hired Chris, and actually I have had many people tell me that Chris is a very good person to be acquisitions, because he's just very personable. He's not pushy, and he just like really tries to get to know the owner and connect with them. And I'm really proud to have him on my team. And actually, we just put a property under contract. It's an amazing property. I won't do that one tonight because we are going to do a case study today. But the property that we just put under contract, it's $1 million, and he told me that we got on the phone, and because usually I do Zoom with everybody. I said, let's just hop on Zoom and I'll introduce myself, but he didn't want to do that. He said, no, I don't know Zoom. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So we just got on the phone and we had like a 3-way conversation, or actually it was really 4-way because his wife got on the phone as well too. And the owner told me, he said, Chris is he's a really good person to have you on your team. And you should be very proud of him because he does a really good job. And I was like, when the owner tells you that, he's good, right? So we've been discussing, Chris and I have been discussing adding more people to our acquisitions team and really building out an acquisitions team, not for me personally, because I don't really want to have like 1 million properties. But to wholesale, to maybe to find properties for my students and help my students to find properties. So we've been talking about doing that for a little while now, and I think it's starting to really come to fruition. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so if you want to find properties, you should be talking to owners. That's really what you should be doing. Now, Chris, the property that I'm going to talk to you tonight about, Chris did not find this property. So out of the 10 properties that we've bought or have under contract in the last year, Chris has found 8 of those. And then another student in the coaching program, in the Storage Nerds coaching program, has brought me 2 other deals, right? So one of them we just closed on, not last week, but the week before, maybe early last week or the week before. And so one of my students brought me that deal, and then I bought it from him. And so that's one of them, and this is another one. So I wanted to show you guys this deal and see what y'all think about it, and y'all let me know your thoughts. And you guys can to go through the process of me trying to analyze a deal. All right, would be really good, and to just look at it, and see what you think. It's a case study. I'm live, yes, if anybody's saying it. Now I'm live right now, but maybe later on YouTube or on the podcast, then of course the podcasts are not live. But yes, Victor, I'm here right now. Okay, good. All right, so let me share my screen and let me show you this. Okay, so one thing that I want, actually put yes in the chat if you can see this too. Another thing I wanted to remind everybody about is these Monday sessions. Every week you're going to have to register. It's a new link now, right? So before, last year when I started this, we had one link, and then we were just like the same people were being reminded. So we decided for 2022 that you need to register for every session, and you can only register for 3 at a time. If you noticed, if you go to stacyrossetti.com, right, to register for this, then you would only be able to register for 3 at a time. So you can register for all 3. You'll get emails for all 3. And then right here, and then the next one will come up. So you'll have to register for that. So the link will be changing every single time. And that way we're only emailing the people and reminding the people that actually want to show up, and come to these things. So we're not, annoying people, and stuff like that. Because I know we already got so many emails and stuff. So we decided for 2022 to just kind of chill out a little bit. Now, so let me go back to this, and let's see, everybody can see my screen. Yes. Perfect. Great. Finally to get in front of you live. Perfect. All right. Awesome. Okay, good. So everybody can see my screen. Okay. So now we are going to look at Justin's self-storage. This is in Augusta, Georgia. Okay. And one of my students brought me this deal, and I'm going to buy it. I hope if I can find the money, I'm going to buy it. All right. I really think this is a good deal. This is my type of property. So if anybody knows me, you guys know that like I am the mom and pop guru of storage investing. Okay. So I'm not going to, teach you how to find, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $10 million facilities. Like I'm here to help you get your foot in the door. Now, eventually later, you might want to go and buy facilities that big or whatever, but I'm the mom and pop guru, and I'm here to help you get your foot in the door. And the reason why is because these are the types of facilities we buy, honestly, so I'm going to teach you what I know, and I'm not going to pretend to not know how to do like super big, huge facilities or anything like that. So we have this one right here. I'm going to go to Google Maps real fast, and then all I'm doing is just going to show you this facility and what it looks like. Justin's, no, wait, actually it's not it. I need to do, because he doesn't have that under contract. So let's see, 2218 Rosier Road is the address. Okay, 2218 Rosier Road. And so this is what it looks like. I'm in map view, right? So I'm going to just go to satellite view. And then I'm going to just zoom in a little bit so you can see what this one looks like. Okay, so, and I just pitched this last week as well too. I did a pitch to a group of people that were interested in investing in it, and so we've been over this a couple times. And if anybody is interested in this deal, just let me know. If you want to lend on it, then just message us or email us at questions@stacyrossetti.com is our email, and let me know, and I can always share this folder with you so you can take a look at it. And there's like a 30-minute video. Actually, let me just pull that up. There's like a 30-minute video right here that I'm Stacy is going over the deal. It's right here. Okay, so you can watch that, but I'm going to go over the deal now too. It's kind of the same thing that I'm doing. And it's good practice for you guys to see how I'm pitching my deals and how I'm describing, everything to people and stuff like, how am I describing my deals to others so I can raise money. So essentially me doing a case study, there are a lot of different things that you can learn from this. So one of them is how I pitch my deals. Another one is how I find them, how I fund them. We don't own this, so I'm not going to talk about management yet. We'll talk a little bit about management, but that's a good case study for you. Okay, so this is the facility right here. Now, at one point, this whole property was owned by, one person, right? And you will see a lot of this in storage investing, honestly. You will see a lot of this when you start getting into it. Like storage runs into RV parks. It runs into boat and RV storage, car washes, laundromat, and commercial retail space. A lot of people I've come across, and actually we have another facility under contract that's almost exactly like this one that we're buying, that I'm going to pitch on Friday. And that is just almost like this one too. So this is the facility here, and right here in the back, and it's on like not even an acre. It's a little bit less than 1 acre. All right. But the owner, really, whoever built this facility, was built in 1994. So it's not really that old, but whoever built this facility, he really kind of utilized the space really well, which I love. I love when I see storage facilities on like the space being utilized properly. And here's this right here. This is a car wash. Okay. This is the car wash, and there's an easement that comes in the car wash and then comes in through here. So that's kind of how I know, and I've kind of, figured it out over time, is that there's this easement that comes in. And the reason why is because at one point this was owned by one person, and then he sold off this commercial building, he sold off this car wash, and then he sold off the storage facility. And he probably thought he could get more money by selling it piece by piece, but truth be told, most of the time you can get more money when you sell the whole thing, but it is what it is. Okay, anyways, so this is the property right here. It's 116 units. It's 116 units. And this is it. Now it is in Augusta, Georgia, which is a town of 200,000 people. So it's not a major metropolitan, right? It's a nice big city. Think about when you want to and where you want to invest, where are some good cities, right? Small to medium-sized cities in your area or in your state or wherever you're interested in investing in, then that you can invest in, that you can look at to find, properties. And Augusta is one of those cities that is also a very good area. Now it's kind of like, it's just one of those cities in the state where it's like, it's never gotten huge or anything like that, So, and then what you can do when you look on Google Maps, this is exactly what I did, and I'll show you, is you can go to like nearby and then just put storage, okay? And that'll show you like some of the competitors. So look in this whole area right here, right in this whole area. I mean, there's really not a lot of storage facilities in this whole area. So there's one over here. It's 11 minutes away, right here. This one's 4 minutes away, right? This one's 4 minutes away. This one's 5 minutes away. And those I put down as competitors. And I think this one right here is 6 minutes. So I put these all down as competitors, right? And I think I put this one down. I can't remember, but you can come in and you can just do storage nearby and see who the competitors are. Now this is like A&A Storage, right? Of course, like typical name, everybody has A&A Storage, right? A&A Storage is here, and then Public Storage is right here. And this one is self-care storage. I can look at this. Self-care storage is kind of like a nice big, facility just like this, but it's all outdoor. So it's a good comp. And, but public storage is here as well too. And this is kind of a nice big facility, but a little bit bigger. And, because it's good to look, like when you start getting stuff under contract, it's good to look at the competition, And this is the self-care, and this one's economy self-care, which looks actually kind of run down. And I'm not 100%. I don't even think this emove.com is the right website. So I'm not sure if this is like an abandoned facility or what. I was looking at it. I was like, oh yeah, here's the phone number right here. Let's see. I don't think you can zoom in, can you? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, yeah, here it is. Economy self-storage, right? So you can give them a call, but it's kind of an older one. It's got like brick walls and stuff. But somebody may buy this if you need to wholesale a property. You want a property. This is exactly the type of facility. It'd be a good one to hold on and maybe fix up and stuff like that. All right. So that's that. So see, once you start looking at your competition, you might find something else. The rule for us too is like once we get one under contract, once we close on one, the rule is that we need to find 3 or 4 more storage facilities within like a 30-minute to 45-minute radius of that facility, so that we can create mini portfolios, right? That's kind of what we do. But anyway, just getting on Google Maps and really playing with it and looking at all the facilities, even if these are the only ones that you can find, the public storage ones, it's good to just look and see what's out there. Now, the truth is I'm thinking that in this area here where there's like a lot of storage facilities kind of around the perimeter, right? There's a lot of them kind of around the perimeter, but are there any storage facilities that are all up in here? I mean, A&A Storage is right there, and it's hiding in the back of a commercial building, right? And so that's what it looks like right there. So is there any other ones there? And those are called the hidden market. Those facilities that are not on Google Maps are what I call the hidden market. And targeting those is really an important part of the process as well too. So anyway, so I just wanted to show you on Google Maps where it's at, where it's located, and then you could just zoom out. You can go into just the regular Google Maps, and then you can look to see like where everything is, in terms of, where your facility is. I really like to spend a lot of time on Google Maps, just playing around and trying to get to know the areas before I go out there and try to look and check it out. Okay, so that is where the facility is. So let's get into the folder. Another thing I wanted to tell you about this folder is that I love my Google folder. I love my Google Drive folders. Okay. My Google Drive folders are always like super organized, right? I don't have like one folder with 1,000 files in it, and the files are labeled like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. Like we try to keep our folders, named properly, our files named properly. We try to really keep everything super organized. Why? Because number one, I have to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to purchase this property. So when I'm putting every piece of information into this folder, I want to have it easy access, easily labeled, so I know what I'm looking at. Number two, what I feel is the most important things that I need to know about whether or not this property is a good property to buy is exactly what your lender is going to want to know, right? And what I do is essentially pitch these deals to my lenders, and then I share the folder with my lender, right? I share this folder. So the people that have expressed interest in partnering with me or lending me the money on this deal, those are the ones that are shared with this folder. Okay. And then finally, if I decided to wholesale this deal, like if I decided this deal is not for me, like for instance, that economy self-storage, I wouldn't buy that one because it's a little too small for me. And I would probably put that one under contract, and then I would wholesale that facility, right? And guess what? Wholesaling to another buyer, right, to find a buyer for that property, that buyer needs exactly the same information that I have in this folder, right? So essentially this folder is a very important folder to have, and you want to be as organized as you possibly can so that whatever you decide to do, whatever your exit strategy is for your property, you can just share the folder with that person, and then they can look and decide. And I got into a habit very, very early on in my investing days to just be as organized as I possibly can in my Google Drive, because otherwise it just gets to be like way too many documents, and they all just scattered everywhere, and it's just a bunch of like craziness, right? So I just wanted to point that out. Be as organized as you can. Okay, so let's get into the property info. Let's take a look at this. Now, what I did is I use Landglide. If anybody doesn't know Landglide is an app on your phone that you can use to search the property information, right? So let's pull it up. So this is what Landglide would look like if, this is what Landglide looks like on the desktop. And so this is the storage facility right here. It's AA Augusta Storage. And so you can see where the property lies. These are the borders, and you see this is kind of like the easement. So this is where the people come into the facility. All right. And so that is where that's the border. And you can find that in Landglide. And then over here on the left, this is just a screenshot, but over on the left, you can put your parcel number in, or you could put your address in, and then you search it. And this is where it says county link, that is where you can click on that, and it pulls up all the public data of that property. And I'll show you that in just 1 second. Also, this is what the owner sent to me, was the taxes. So he just wanted me to know how much it was. So they pay $2,500 a year in taxes, which is actually really not too bad for, it's an acre of property, but it's really value, it's based on the value, right? So for 116 unit, it's only appraised at $225,000. So he has to, he pays taxes on that. Okay. So it's really not too bad. And this is the unit size breakdown of what he has. So it's total 116 units. 5x5s, 5x10s, 5x15s, 10x10s, 10x15s, 10 by 20s, 10 by 25s, and 10 by 30. So obviously you can tell that this one was built a little bit at a little bit older age, but really not too old. I'll get into that in a while. But the reason I know is because there are a lot of 5 by 5s and there are a lot of 5 by 10s, right? You know, typically nowadays you want like a little bit bigger units, but back in the day, right? Like you need smaller units. So that's why there's a lot of smaller units. So we'll check and see, like, you know, we'll get in there and we'll see if we can make some of these 5 by 5s into 5 by 10s, or maybe put, you know, 10 by 10s. Then we have to look in there and see kind of what we do. But the most important thing is out of 5 by 5 or 5 by 10, they really do get the highest amount of money for them because the price per square foot is so high versus, you know, the bigger that you go, the less money that you make on your facilities. So in hindsight, looking back at like what the owner was thinking, I totally understand that, because he was like, no, I'm going to just get a whole bunch of small ones and fill those up and make as much money as I possibly can. Right. You know, so that's kind of how that is. So that's why you always see that you'll see a lot of storage facilities that have kind of smaller units. And the question is, can you finagle those, you know, into different sizes, or do you think that, you know, do you think you can just leave it and get those, you know, leased up? Okay, so that's that. And then here is this is what the parcel looks like on Landglide, right? So you have like a strip of land and then you have the back office here. So we'll get in there. There's a little building here, there's a little building here, and a longer one and a longer one. And actually in here, there's actually climate control. There's climate controlled units as well too through here. Okay. Let's see what else we got. And this is the public data. This is the public data. So so you can see the address, you can see what it like, there's a picture here, a little bit of information. It's zoned, you know, commercial, you know, it's got some stuff on it, topography. It's got the total square footage of the property. It's 0.86 acres. And then it's got, you know, it's built in 1994, and each of the unit sizes, right? 1650, 5450. Here's a 400 and two 400. So now, and then also it shows you like, you know, what the last purchase was for, and this kind of things, fair market value and these kinds of things. So in 2020, it was purchased for 200 grand. So these are the pictures as well too that came up in public record. And I just copied these and just put them into my picture. So I had them, but there's a lot of great looking pictures. This was done back. The appraisal was done in 2020. Okay, this is the appraisal with smaller buildings and stuff. And then this down here, so they give you a lot of information in public data. So you want to really look at it. You want to look at the public data. As you can see, like it's 1,650 square feet for this building right here. And then we've got this 5450 building right here, which is kind of has some climate controlled in it. And it's got 3,600 square feet right here. That's the long skinny one. And it's got 400 square feet for this little building that was there. Right, so it does give you actually quite a lot of information. Now, some public sites don't, right? They don't give you a lot of information, but Georgia's actually really good about that. So I really like that about them. Here's the pictures of the facility. We'll just go through really quickly so you can see what it looks like. And actually, these are all just pictures. I took these pictures off of the county website, and then the ones that the owner sent me, I can show you. You'll definitely be able to tell the difference. Okay. So this was in 2020. When the owner bought it in 2020, basically he let it just go down the tubes. That's what happened. So this is a severely mismanaged facility is what it is. All right. And there's a lot of kudzu in the back, but it was even worse. It's even worse. And then the owner did clear all the kudzu. This is all supposedly cleared. And that's the side of it. This is what the property looks like now. This is what the property looks like now. Okay, so like I said, it is severely mismanaged. People are just dumping their trash, just doing whatever. And it's just not managed properly, unfortunately. So that's my job, is to come in and to fix it up. There's a really nice gate though in the front. This is where the gate is, and the owner he did fix the gate, so that's a good sign. He was trying to clean it up, but he just got really in over his head, right? He got in over his head. And this is the property from overhead, and this is the storage facilities where it looks like on the inside. So it's really nice. It's not really too bad. It just needs some TLC, some loving. I love when it's like the property's not bad. It needs some TLC, which means like it just needs to be cleaned up. And honestly, it really needs to be managed properly. That's what it is. It has to be managed properly. There's some more buildings. So you can see it's coming all the way over to 114, 115, 116. And that's the final 116 is right here. This is the front of the gate right here where you drive in, and there's like one little building in the back right here. And this is the inside. This is the inside of the buildings, right? So obviously it's just being dumped and like nobody's caring for it. All right, and this is where all the climate control is in this space. And let's see, and this is the outside unit. We saw that. More pictures. Oh yeah, I was going to go back. You see how these are all, the doors are here. You'll see this a lot on storage facilities where they have kind of like an opening and then you walk in, and that's where like you can do the climate control or more climate control. And that's just one way for you to be able to put more, more units in. All right. So like, so that was pretty good. This is my little sign. This will be where the sign is right here, self-storage. But it doesn't have any phone number on it. So what's the point of that sign? Who knows? Okay. All right. And then this is what the owner had sent for the price is like, for the work related. So you could see all the kudzu had been done, the electrical work on the gate, all the fencing had been fixed. And that was like $5,000 here. It's the initial cleaning. And then he came in and spent another $8,000 on fencing the entire property. He fenced the entire property. It cost $8,500 to do that. And then some disposal fees. He did some removal of debris, cleanup and stuff like this, so that's one of the invoices. So he had really a lot of work done. Here's some more. All the doors have been fixed, right? Because there was a lot of doors that weren't working. So he did that. And this is the energy bill. It's only $144 a month. So he sent me that as well too. And let's see what else. And this is the plat, right? So this is where this is just like the plat that shows this. Oh yeah, this is the plat that shows the egress right here. So he wanted to show that because I asked him about that. I said, is there like some sort of an egress or easement or something like that? So he put that in. And that's really all the work that has been done. And then here is the competitors. This is the competitors. That's what I did is I took a screenshot of all of the competitors, and this is the ones that we just talked about. And and then I took screenshots of their website, right? Of their website. And then as you can see, like this is one of them. And I think this one's probably public storage. But look at how many units they have. Like if you went to this website and you were like, yeah, I need to rent a unit, what would you do? I'd be like, what? That's like way too many units. I can't figure out which one I like, And this is another one. They have a lot of units here. There's really a lot of different sizes. This must be of like a thing in Augusta or something, but there's a lot of different sizes of units. And then here's another one. This doesn't have really too many units right here, just a couple, but you can always tell the units. And then here's one more, the competitors with their units. And I put that into the deal analyzer. So essentially what I was doing here is analyzing the competitors, right? I'm analyzing the competitors. So if I go here and then I click on like this public storage website right here for this Orchard Street, then it comes up to the website and you will see like, and then you can get in and you can see what sizes they have and what they offer. So you could see small 5x5s, 5x10s, 10x10s, going all the way just to Timothy, but actually I think they have way more than that. But and then so what I did was that when I'm analyzing the competitors, I'm really only looking at the same, like, you know, apples to apples, right? So I'm not sitting there in the dill analyzer and putting every single one of the units in. What I'm doing is just saying, okay, like I know the one that you know, A&A has a 5x5 an outside unit 5x5, and they're charging $32 a month. So I'm going to put that on the sheet, right? I know they have 5x10s outside units, so I'm going to put $43. So I'm not going to get in and do all kinds of crazy stuff or anything like that. All right. And so that is how I look at the competitors. And let me see. And then let's see, what else did I do? There's a couple of videos in here, pictures, sketches of the facility. Finally, we can get into the dill analysis. All right. So this is really the spreadsheet that I run my numbers on and look at everything. And so I'll just show you how I do that. Let's see. So the way that it works, so the purchase price of this facility is $395,000. It's only making $32,000. It's only making $32,000. Okay. And I ran it at an 8 cap. Now the question is, like, what is the cap rate in this area? I don't know. You know, I ran it at an 8 cap because I just feel comfortable at an 8 cap. But typically in you know, in cities like Augusta, sometimes, you know, it could be, you know, 5, 6, 7 caps. You know, you guys tell me, does anybody know what the cap rate in Augusta is? I ran it at an 8 cap. All right. And the loan and the interest rate, I haven't put anything in yet. We could just put 4, you know, we could put 4% and then put, like, you know, 240 months, maybe, you know, typical, you know, a typical interest rate. But they made $32,000. They've made $32,000 last year. It's 116 units. It's 11,000 square feet, and it's 25% full. 25% full. All right. And so really, this thing is not worth anything at all, honestly. I mean, it's barely making $32,000, so it's really not worth a lot of money. So the question is, when you look at a deal like this, how much money can you make? So when you analyze mismanaged facilities, you don't want to look at the as-is income, because if you look at the as-is income, then guess what? You ain't ever going to buy a storage facility. That's for sure. Right. And if you want to look at the as-is income, then you should be looking at income producing properties, right? And not mismanaged facilities. What I do is I look at the value add on the back end. Now, obviously, this property here, there's no room to grow, right? There's no room to expand. So the only thing that we can do is raise the rates. Okay, only thing that we can do is raise the rates. Now, as you can see, at $32,000 a year annual income, it's 11,000 square feet. I mean, the average rent per square foot is only 32 cents per square foot. It's only 32 cents per square foot. Okay. What we want to get to is minimum 85,000. I know for a fact that it should be right around this number, because this is the type of facility that I buy on a regular basis. Okay. And it should be making at least that much money, right? But what I did is I actually compared the competitors, and I looked at what the competitors were charging based on based on their websites and stuff like that. And that's where they came up with the 70 cents per square foot. Now, so my goal would be, when I purchase this property, is to get it from 32,000 to 85,000 annual income in the year. Okay. And now you can see, like, there is no real CapEx. There's no initial clean out. When I buy the facility, one of our stipulations is that, you know, all the trash is going to be gone. The units are all going to be cleaned up. Everything's going to be good. Now, we might have to do some auctions, you know, but I mean, essentially it's only 25% full, you know, so it's not going to be a lot of time and effort to get this thing, vacant, you know, to get this thing leased up. And so everything is going to be all cleaned out. So he's already been through that process. So I did not put a lot of CapEx or initial clean out on this. I mean, I feel like as soon as we buy this thing, we should be able to start really marketing it properly and getting it leased up. The property taxes we know were $2,500, utilities $1,200, insurance about $1,500. Okay, and this is basically the opportunity right here. At 116 units, 11,000 square feet at 70 cents a square foot, we should be making around, we should be have a value of around $781,000. You see, we're taking it from a 2 cap to a 16 cap. And in fact, most of the mismanaged properties that I buy are going to be between -2 and 4 caps. Okay. And the goal is to really get them to the highest possible cap rate that I can, so that I can sell it at an 8 cap or a 7 cap or a 6 cap or whatever it's going to be in the next 3 years. Right. That's kind of how I look at it. Right. You want to, for a mismanaged facility, you're going to buy it somewhere in the 0 cap rate or, horrible cap rates. If it's a severely mismanaged facility, right? And you're going to want to get it to the highest possible cap rate that you can, and then sell it at the typical cap rate in that area. Okay. If that makes sense. So $781,000 is what I have it as an 8 cap. Now, these are our expenses for our company right here. Now, if I went and got a mortgage on it at a bank, which I can't go to a bank and get a mortgage, right? But if I went to go get a bank, the mortgage would be about $35,000. The property maintenance is about $6,000. That's for our boots on the ground person. That's how much it's going to cost. The staffing is for our office manager and our phone person, right? Which are 2 separate people in our company. That's the staffing. The software is the software that the property management software. And the marketing is like how much you're going to pay, how much you're going to charge in a year to get your leads and lease up. All right. So we're giving ourselves a little bit of money for that as well too. And based on what the interest rate is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a 5% at 36 months, or I don't know if it's going to be, 8 cap at 36 months. I don't know what it's going to be, right? I mean, an 8 cap, an 8% interest rate at 36 months. I'm not sure what it's going to be, so I can't really run the numbers based on that. But that does not change what the value of the property is going to be at. Okay, that does not change the value of the property. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you here was the unit mix, right? So I put all the units in 5 by 5. This is what is at the facility: 5 by 5, 5 by 10, 10 by 10, 10 by 15s, 10 by 20s, 15 by 30s, 10 by 25s, and 5 by 15s. All right, this is what he has as his unit mix. So it comes out to a little bit over 11,000 square feet, 11,175. And so we ran the prices. Basically, his prices are, this is what his prices are. He really has his prices, because I got his prices right off the website. He has them at, normal rate, but he's not leasing them out. He's not managing, so it's not getting leased up. So he has them at around 60 cents a square foot, right? So he has them at 30, 42, 73, 90, 106, 125, 145, and 58. I kind of mixed up the unit mixes, but we are going to be increasing the rate to 70 cents. And even if it's a mismanaged property, even if it's 25% full, we are going to be charging the rate that should be charged, right? Based off what we found from the competition. Actually, our prices are cheaper than the competition. And so we're going to push it up there. And then what we're going to do is just make sure that we are marketing the property properly. I mean, he's not doing any marketing at all. So we will start doing that immediately. And we do that by creating an online presence and doing online marketing. So this is where we're going to get the prices to. This section right here is where if you could add new construction, but we can't add anything. So obviously we don't do anything on that section. And this is just like what it is right now, right? So even it's filled, this is what it's filled to right now. He should be making about $4,000 So when you see what he should be making versus what he is making, remember that in the info page, he's only making 32,000, but what he should be making based on his occupancy rates is 4,000. So he should be making around 48,000 a year, and he's only making 32. When I see that and hear that, what I hear is that the economic occupancy versus the physical occupancy are very different, right? And that to me just means that it's not managed properly. He's not doing what he should be doing. Okay, so that is basically the unit mix. And then also, I went and I put the competition here, right? I put Secure Care, Public Storage, AAA, Augusta Lock, all here. I didn't fill all this information out, but you can, you should really get all this information. Do they check credit check cash or whatever? I haven't done that yet. And then, and then I went through and just analyzed 5x10s, 10x10s, all the units that we have here. I analyzed what the competitors are doing as well too, right? So we can see Secure Care has a 5x10 for 43, a 10x10 for 71, a 10x15 for 88, a 10x20 for 110, and then no 20 and no 20x30s or anything like this. The only company that has a 20x30 is Public Storage, and they charge $144 a month. And then the 20x10s, they charge $115 a month, right? So we're basically looking at all of the different facilities. We're comparing them, and then we're running numbers based on their average, okay, is what we're doing. So that's what the purpose of looking at the competition is. It's very, very important for you to be analyzing your competition so that you know what you should be doing. I mean, where you should be at in terms of pricing, because that pricing really fits into what your opportunity is going to be, right? Are we going to be at 60 cents, 70 cents? Where are we going to be at, in the next, 18 months for this property? Okay. Now we ripped the Band-Aid and we just get it done and over with. Get the ones out that don't want to pay that much and stuff like that. The owner, he has not raised the rents in a couple of years. All right. He has not raised the rent since before COVID and even before that. Okay. Which is very, very typical. Very, very typical. Now, once you really start getting into looking at, the numbers, you're going to want to learn how to look at the whole vision. But as you can see, based on a purchase price of, $397,000, we're going to have a cap rate at 16%. We can sell it at an A cap, essentially, is what we can do. And our NOI is going to be around $62,000. Now, I don't want to minus the mortgage from that because I don't know what my mortgage is going to be. Am I going to partner with somebody and have no mortgage at all? Right? Or is somebody going to lend me the money and then I'm going to have debt on the property? Right? And it's really 6 one way, half a dozen the other. All that really entails is what is the risk level of your lenders. Some of my lenders want to have a lien on the property, and some of them, they just want to partner, right? So it really depends on that. But you will be looking at, basically your gross potential rents minus any, minus all of your expenses is what creates your NOI. All right. So that is basically the property in a nutshell. And I would like to have your opinion now. Answer questions and then let me know, what do you think about this deal? Is this something that you would buy or something that you would not buy? I would love to hear some feedback on that while we answer questions. And again, just to remind everybody that the Storage Nerds doors are open. All right. And I am taking applications right now. The doors are open for just like another week or so. So I have availability to do calls, and I'm looking forward to talking to as many as people as I possibly can. So if you are interested in the coaching program, then make sure that you please go to storagenerds.com and you apply. And if you hear this podcast when the doors are not open, then you can just get on the wait list and wait for the doors to open again. Once you do join, you do get access to my deal analyzer, which is also really good. So you can practice putting the numbers in, try to figure out everything, really looking at the picture as a whole. We really try to make the deal analyzer as easy as possible for the students, because you don't want to make it overly complicated, really, honestly. You just don't. It's not really that difficult to analyze a deal once you get the hang of it. But I feel like sometimes people like to make it like super overly complicated. Okay, so while we're waiting here, which questions do you have? Any final questions? Any final thoughts? Then put them into the chat for me. That would be great. And then also I asked who is interested in this deal? What's your feedback? You're like, no, I would never do this deal, or like, yes, this is something that I'd be interested in. Okay, so okay, let me see here. We got some points here. Let me see if I can get this. If I have a piece of property, okay, who do I contact if I have a piece of property with proper zoning and I want to put in storage facilities? Okay, so that's new construction. And what you need to do for new construction is you need to, if you have a piece of property that you already know that you want to build on, your next steps are going to be make sure that it's zoned properly. So calling the county and talking to them and letting them know, hey, I really want to put a storage facility on this property. Is this okay? So you need to get the thumbs up first from either the city or the county, depending on where you want to build at. First step is thumbs up. Second step is that you want to get somebody that does metal fabrication and build storage facilities, right? So a company can find somebody to do that, and then they can do a proposal for you, right? And they can really kind of lay out how your property is going to look, okay? And then they will give you your price per square foot and the cost, right? So that you can analyze how much is my land cost, how much does the storage facility cost, and in the end, what is it going to be worth once I get it up and running and leased? And because especially right now, prices are just so expensive. So, and then the next question would be like, is it worth it? Is this something that I feel it's worth it? Okay. All right. And what happened to the owner that he's letting go so badly? He is just, I'm telling you, this is like, you never, like in investing, you never want to ask why. Like people just do things to do things, but essentially he just does not want to manage this thing. He thought he wanted to get into self-storage investing. And then in 2020, he just decided that it's too much work. A mismanaged property, honestly, like this one, a severely mismanaged property is a lot of work, and you have to have a strong gut and you have to have patience. And it's not like buying an income producing property. An income producing property, you can just, you can just buy it, and within a month or 2 months, you're making money on it, right? But mismanaged properties, they need like TLC. And if it's like slightly mismanaged, it's only going to take a couple months. And if it's like medium mismanaged, it's like, half a year. But if it's like severely mismanaged, you could be working on this thing for a year or a year and a half. We buy many, many severely mismanaged properties. And guess what? They take us a year and a half sometimes to get those things up running and leased up. It's just a lot of work, and especially us, because we have so many facilities. It's like our boots on the ground person, they only have so much time or whatever to go around and fix stuff and do stuff. So we lease up as much as we can, and then we fix stuff and lease, it's our process. And we are slow, honestly. We're not like pedal to the metal type of people. I'm a typical self-storage investor, and I'm just slow, honestly. And that's why I love self-storage investing, because you can be slow, because guess what? You're still making money, so this is how bad do you want to make your money, so. Okay. When the stuff is dumped like that outside, can you just throw it away, or how do you handle that? I mean, essentially, we're going to just throw that stuff away when it's like that. There's just no way to like figure anything out. Now, if there was like a unit that was locked and wasn't being paid, you'd have to go through like the auction process. But there's just stuff like laying around. I mean, essentially, people, what they do is they go into the unit, they take out what they want, and they just leave everything else everywhere, is what they do, you know? So we just trash that. We just trash that stuff is what we do. Okay, is this 75% vacant? You said it's 25% full. Yeah, it's 75% vacant is what it is. 75% vacant, 25% full is what it is. Yes. Yes, thank you. Do you offer this analyzer? No, I don't offer. I do offer the analyzer, but only to my students. So you have to join Storage Nerds in order to get access to that. I target cap rates at, like we already talked about this, -2 to 4 is what I do. Those are my cap rates, which is like totally opposite of like most people in the industry, right? So I like severely mismanaged facilities. But I mean, if we have bought income producing properties, because what we do is we offset. So like, we'll buy this Justin's, this facility here, and then we're going to go around and try to find maybe a more income producing property, like maybe something that's like 75% full, and then that one will offset the cost, and it's going to cost for this one as well too. So we'll do something like that as well, that kind of helps us along the way. I thought the purchase price is tied to the current income. That's what everybody thinks, all right? But if you're going to think that the way, then guess what? You're passing up a lot of good deals. All right. Typically for me on a mismanaged property, I like to triple my value. Now, obviously this one is like maybe double. If it's an 8 cap, I mean, I don't know, is Augusta an 8 cap or a 7 cap or a 6 cap? I don't know. Now for me, I ran it at an 8 cap and I'm only doubling the value. But if I can sell it at a 7 cap or a 6 cap, then it's going to be way more than that. And I honestly feel like it probably will be if I hold on to this for the next 3 years, a minimum 3 years, right? So we like to minimum double the amount of money that we're going to be making, double the value of the property, or and we most of the time we're tripling it though. I mean, a lot of times we're tripling the values. When we're buying mismanaged facilities. Income producing properties, you cannot do that most of the time. Income producing properties, that's why you'll hear in the storage investing world, it's like a 1.6x or 1.8x, right? Because it's almost doubling, but not quite, something like that, right? Or a 3x, like I 3x that thing, right? That's what they're talking about. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. Make sure we got everything. We got lots of links here if you're interested in joining the coaching program, getting on the wait list, or buying the course, Super Simple Self-Storage. You can buy that all right at stacyrossetti.com. Have you ever had trouble selling a property? Seems like there's a limited pool of paying the $700,000 and won't the buyer? No, I'm telling you, there is not an issue with selling your property. People are paying ridiculous amounts of money for properties right now. Okay, so no, I don't think that you're going to have an issue with selling your property. That's my personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, but that's my personal opinion. Now, and also the truth is like that one person wanted to build. I mean, honestly, building. We need more storage facilities, and a lot, especially in secondary and tertiary markets. We may be oversaturated in primary markets, but in secondary and tertiary markets, just as long as you do a feasibility study and make sure you're going to be okay, we really do need more storage facilities. Do you have any deals with seller financing? Oh man, I got a great deal right now with seller financing, but I'm buying that sucker. I'm not going to pass that thing off. Right. But yeah, you need to ask the owner if they'll seller finance, because a lot of them will. If you ask them, if you don't ask, you're not going to know. Right. What do you find on the pending side? I don't know what that means. What do you find on the pending side? I'm not sure. Percentage down, rates, etc. I'm not sure what that means. A difference between physical occupancy and unit Economic, yes, good, exactly right. So the difference, the physical occupancy is when I say like, oh yeah, I'm 100% full. I'm 100% full, right? And then you say, and then you ask the owner like, okay, well, if you're 100% full, like, how many people are actually paying? What's your monthly income? Right? And they say, oh, well, I'm full, but like only 75% are paying, right? So physical occupancy is how much are you full, and economic occupancy is like, this is how much, like how many people are actually paying, right? And there's a big difference between both of them, right? The bank is going to look at economic occupancy versus the physical occupancy. Okay, Stacy said, if this seems like a very good deal, if you can get a 16% cap rate, can you speak to what upgrades you're going to make to get it? I'm only going to increase the price. That's it. Increasing the price. In commercial real estate, you don't do upgrades. You do value add is what you do. So it's another word. And my value add is going to be increasing the price. And then if I could, I would add on, but I can't. So I'm only going to increase the price. How do you find the storage facility owners? Google Drive and other. How do you find the storage facility owners? Google Drive and other. So Google, how to find storage facility owners? We went over that in Google Maps, right? So that's what we're doing. How do you calculate 0.30? Okay, yeah. So that's what I went over into the deal analyzer, is that it's a 32 cents a square foot. Right now it's ran at 32 cents a square foot, and I want to get it to 70 cents a square foot. So the as is price, right, is really like the total square footage divided by the, the income, right? And you want to get that to like as high as you possibly can. And then somebody asked about cap rate. Cap rate is basically the number. It's going to be like what your property is valued at based on your location, and then how much income you're making, and a whole bunch of things go into it. I do a lot of videos on this on YouTube. I'm here every single Monday. Or you can, join Storage Nerds, or you can also buy my course, okay, to get really deep into the stuff. Okay, good. All right. Well, I think we're running out of time now. So I love all the questions. Thank you so much for asking all of them. And again, I will be here next Monday, but going forward, you should sign up and just talk to me through Storage Nerds. All right, storagenerds.com, and let's chat to see if the coaching program is a good fit for you. Okay, I appreciate everybody coming out, but I can't sit there. Y'all have like 20 questions here, so I love that y'all are asking all the questions. You know what you should do? I forgot to post this out. You should go to these questions here. Do me a favor, if you have more questions, go to the public Facebook group. Okay, go to the public Facebook group and put your questions there, and I will answer those, and everybody else will chime in as well too. So if you can, search storagenerds.com or search Super Simple Self Storage, and you'll be able to find the group at storagenerds.com, and ask all your questions in there. That's where we are. We're all there to help you and answer your questions. Okay, that's the public Facebook group for Storage Nerds. Okay. All right. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good evening, and take care. And I will see you at the next one. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storage Nerds. Hope this informative conversation inspired you to go out there and jump into this highly profitable business venture that people rarely talk about. Get more tips on storage space investing at www.stacyrossetti.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a rating. Together, let's build that thriving passive income one storage space at a time. Until next time.